514Onlinemix, Christcella.
Everyone, you're on 514Onlinemix, and we have a very special guest. We got Baëbe Ruth with us all the way from Ottawa, but you're also from a region. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. Ottawa region. Is that what you wrote in your bio?
Yes, that's right. Gatineau. Yeah. I moved to Gatineau when I was younger, so been here.
All right. So you know what? I have a question to ask you actually right away about Ottawa. How is the Ottawa scene, the Ottawa music scene?
It's bumping. There's so many talented artists, but I feel like they're slept on. Like, I feel like a lot of people don't give them the flowers that they deserve because there's so much crazy talent out here, especially in the.
And you know what? You're coming to Montreal for the We Outside tour coming up, and you're going to be at the Blue Dog November 20th. I can't wait. So what are they going to expect to see when it comes to you on stage?
Well, a lot of interaction. I love to interact with my audience, but just honestly, me bringing the energy. I love to perform. It's probably my favorite thing to do as an artist is performing because I love people. So I love interacting with the crowd and, you know, we feed off each other's energy. So I'm really, really excited just to be amongst people, honestly.
Yes, you're going to be going all around Canada, and you're going to be stopping in Montreal. When you stop in Montreal, it's going to be lit. We're going to make sure we're going to turn up with you guys. You're going to be also alongside with Young Stitch and also City Fidelia as well.
Yeah, I'm so excited. They're so dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a great, great turnout, especially with the different personalities you all bring to the table. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in person. Now, you're Jamaican, Irish, Native, and like we said, you're from the Ottawa region. How much of that influences your music?
I would say, I'd love to say it influences my music more than it actually does. You know, I'm very, you know, but I guess in a way it does influence my music, you know, me being both Black and white, you know, I feel like I speak a lot about like racial issues in my music. So I do like to highlight that and, you know, support, you know, my other side and support, you know, my Black community, just, you know, my brothers and my sisters, because I feel like that's always been such a big issue. And we know that it's still an issue. It's still so prevalent in this day and age. And I feel like people don't think it is, but you check the news, you check the media, and it clearly is. So I feel like, and actually in some way, it actually does influence my music for sure. You know, I love to support my brothers and my sisters. So, you know, I love to spread awareness as much as I can.
So you're not only spreading awareness, you're also putting your experiences, well, some of your experiences in your track. And I want to speak about Dreams, because especially when I first started, Dreams had me in a trance. Was that your voice in the beginning? Like, it sounded like it was just the beat. It was your voice as well.
Yeah, so in Dreams, my engineer, he did like a little bit of a twist to it. So he just kind of like, played my voice back, so he kind of like backtracked it and then he like layered it. So yeah, but yeah, he kind of, I guess, sampled my voice at the beginning.
Shout out to both of y'all. Honestly, that was like magic. It instantly put me in a trance, and I'm sure it's going to put our listeners in a trance once they hear it as well. In your track Dreams, you say a line, I'm probably not going to quote it right, I really hope I do, but you say, I was writing for that basically took me in. Hold on, I had it. I think you know what I'm talking about, though. I'm going to do that again.
Yeah.
I was riding forward, took me in who was going to be. Well, basically, you know what I'm talking about, though, right? Basically, talking about you were writing for someone who was basically going to fall, right?
Yeah.
So since you put some of your experiences in your tracks, is that one of your experiences in your track?
Yeah, it definitely is. You know, I've been through a lot of ups and downs, and especially in my relationships, you know, I haven't been dealt the best of hands when it came to relationships, and I've been, you know, played left, right, and center. You know, so I definitely like to highlight that in my music, just because I feel like everything that you go through is a sum of who you are. I feel like those experiences actually more than I thought. You know, it actually had a bigger impact on me more than I thought. So yeah, it definitely is real. And I've been through some things, but you know, we learn from our mistakes, and I think everybody also has their part in the relationship to blame as well, you know, because if you're putting up with that, you're allowing yourself to be accustomed to that type of treatment. So yeah.
You know, it was written that you want to relate to your audience when it comes to your music, and you clearly do that in all your tracks, in all of them that I heard. And I also want to get into On Me. Even though it was like a hustle vibe of like, I heard the power in your hustle, okay? But I also heard a little bit of pain. It seems like when you're talking about On Me, it seems like there was like, for example, you do put in a lot of emotion in your tracks to begin with. But I really did felt that emotion and a little bit of pain in your track On Me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely, you know, I think everybody has their own experiences that they've been through, you know, with family life, different things, you know, like when I was younger, I had cancer. I had cancer twice. I'm good now.
Congratulations to you.
That was really, really tough for me. Thank you.
You're strong.
And I actually, my boyfriend actually just recently passed away on the 16th of October. He was murdered. So that's tough, you know, like I made that track before that happened. But I'm just thinking of like some crazy stuff. Like life is just crazy and it's so unexpected. You never know. So I feel like now I'm more willing to speak about my experiences openly, just because I realize that so many people have gone through the similar experiences. And so my music, I want it to be relatable to all sorts of people, you know, no matter who. So On Me, I wanted to do that. I wanted to get a little bit more deep and personal and talk about my experiences so that people can relate. You know, music doesn't always have to be about the hype. Music can also be very much inspirational and relatable. And sometimes you have to get vulnerable to speak to different audiences, to speak on a different level. And to get to different levels, you got to evolve and you got to be willing to get that vulnerable. So yeah, you know, I've been through some things, you know, I'm sure like you've been through some things, and I feel like that's what makes us human, and that's what makes us connect, you know?
And you're letting people connect to you through your music. And they also, when people connect to you, they realize, you know what, I can keep going. She kept going, therefore I can keep going. And that's how people basically like reach out to you as an artist, reach out to your music. And I respect that. I also really appreciate your writing skills. You have a pen game like no other. And what did you start doing first? Did you start rapping first, or did you start singing first?
I started off singing when I was younger. I used to church, so my mom had me in the church, and then I did singing lessons. Sorry about that.
No worries.
I'm late. I did singing lessons for a year, but fast forward, like really, I just kind of taught myself, and I think it wasn't until high school that I actually started rapping, and a lot of that came from, I have a brother and he raps, and he used to do like a lot of freestyle contests and things like that in the clubs, and he'd win. So he'd be coming home talking about it, you know, late night. I hear him, and he used to be in the studio all the time, so he'd be telling me about it, and I was just super infatuated with this whole music scene, and it kind of piqued my interest. But it actually wasn't until I think like my first breakup, I made this challenge. There was a challenge that was going around at the time. Do you know the 10 Toes challenge?
Oh yes, I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. It's like bubblegum beats. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So over YouTube, I remember that beat was going viral. So I ended up writing for the first time, and it was the first track that I ever like wrote to. You know, like the first I actually put lyrics down on. And then I posted it over Facebook, and it ended up going viral. Like it ended up reaching like California and different places. It got so many views. Like I remember I checked one time, I think like the next day I had checked, it was already at like 30K. And I'm like, And yeah, but you know what's so crazy is that it's not even over Facebook anymore. Like, it's deleted because I ended up deleting it on my friend's profile because I got back to the person that song. I was so mad, so I was like, you know what? I'll take it down. You know, that's the power of that we thought. You know, but
yes.
I took it down. I should have taken it down. But yeah, basically, I started out singing. And then I just kind of got into rapping after that. I always was in love with poetry, so I think that also played a big role. But bars, man, I think it's so sick. I think it's so sick when people. I always watch people, you know, rapping, you know, freestyling, and it just always intrigued me. So yeah.
Oh, that was really interesting. That was a really, really interesting background story about you as well. Now, what did you grow up listening to? What was your influences? I love asking this question.
Oh my God, I had so many. I feel like my taste in music as well is very versatile. So I feel like some people I'm going to mention, you probably want to think. But I grew up listening to a lot of Whitney Houston and a lot of Celine Dion. Those are like my main people. And then Sam Cooke, CeCe Winans, all those great artists. And then as I started growing up, my taste in music started changing a little bit too. So when I got more into my rap bag, I started listening to a lot of J. Cole, a lot of Kendrick. I started listening to a lot of Nas. I started listening to a lot of Jay-Z, Chris Brown. And then, of course, in the female aspects, I started listening to a lot of Janae. I love Keisha Cole. And right now, I know Dreezy has been doing her thing. I really like Queen Naja. I really like Tiana Lede. I love Kalani. I love so many of these artists. They're just crazy. Even Nicki. Nicki is a crazy-ass rapper.
Yes!
I have to give her flower that, but yeah, just a lot of cool artists now have been coming out. So I've been watching out for the new artists too.
You know, since you mentioned Nikki, I have a question to ask you. Do you also freestyle? I know you got bars, you can sing, you can rap. Poetry is definitely in the books as well for you. But do you freestyle? Do you like to freestyle? If you do,
I do. A lot of my songs that I've made in the studio, like I've made on spot. Whoa. And how I go about it is like there'll be times where like I'll freestyle a couple of bars and I'm like, okay, yeah, like let's do that. So a lot of my songs I just make the same day I go into the studio. Sometimes it takes a couple of hours and it really depends on like my mood. I feel like I can freestyle very well when I'm very emotional because there's just so much to talk about. It's just off the top, you know, like you have all of these emotions brewing. Yeah, I would definitely say I'm better at writing, but I definitely can freestyle given the time of day. You know, there's some freestyles and I surprise myself. But yeah, I love freestyles. I love watching them, and I hopefully, you know, as time goes on, I'll continue to get better at them.
That's amazing. Now, I know. I think it was in a Rendezvous where I think you had like a business attire looking in one of your scenes. We're in all black, okay? And I was like, yes, she definitely looks like, you know what, I'm gonna hold it down, a CEO. The office is taken care of if I'm in the building, but you also look like you can tear it up in the club and the bad girl season gonna come in. It really does look like you basically dominate both of those like sections of who you are. You know what I mean?
I appreciate
from the bad gal to the office gal, you can do it all.
We have to. You gotta surprise sometimes.
Yes, and you know what? I have to ask you a really, really personal and serious question, especially with your spice and the just you're different from every artist, especially in Canada. Do you feel like you are that one to put Ottawa on the map?
You know, when I take that second, it's not even that I'm doubting myself. I'm a very, very humble person.
I see you. That's why I want to ask you that question.
I would love to put Ottawa on the map, and I definitely believe in myself, and I feel like I have what it takes to do so. You know, just like I think that there's so many great artists that have what it takes, but I really think it's all about your mentality, you know, like you definitely have to believe in yourself. And I think at some point in time, you gotta have that energy and that confidence to be like, yeah, I can do that, you know, because you can't be walking around here with, you know, half-ass energy saying that you're gonna come up, you're gonna do all of these great things if you don't believe that you're great.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna stand on my word and I'm gonna say yes.
Oh,
because
amazing. Now I hope other young girls are watching this interview and they see that you got to believe in yourself. If you feel like you're the one to put Montreal or Ottawa or Toronto on the map, even if it's already been on the map, then you got to believe it. And I, you know what? I'm really glad I asked you, because a lot of people can take that and learn from it. It's really, really important. It's really important. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I'm really, really, really glad I asked you that question. Let's get back to the tour. So, like I said, you're doing the We Outside tour. Is this actually going to be your first tour?
Yeah, this will be the first time I do something like this. I've done some performances, but this is the first time I say I've ever done a tour. Yeah.
Wow. Are you looking forward to it? Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I'm a little bit of both. I'm nervous just because it's my first time doing something like this. But I'm also excited because I know that it's going to be an experience and I'm going to learn from it. You know, I don't think it's going to be perfect. You know, there's a first time for everything.
Nothing's perfect, yes.
Nothing's perfect. So I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to, you know, even watch the other artists that are coming alongside me, like City and Young Stitch, watch them do their thing, because I like to study other artists while they're on stage. So I study what do they do? Okay, what do I like that they do? What do I don't like? What can I take from them and apply it to myself while I'm on stage? So I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to perform. I'm excited.
Yeah. So looking forward to seeing you during the We Outside tour when you come to the Blue Dog in Montreal. Montreal, we like to dance, we like to get lit. Are you a type of artist who likes to dance on stage too?
Oh,
I put you on the spot, eh?
I feel like every time I'm on stage, and I say this if any of my friends are watching me, they know I do a little wine sometimes.
Ooh, yeah.
A little wine sometimes. I love to dance, but for some reason, when I get on stage, I get so into my element that I'm just me. I talk with my hands, I rap with my hands, I speak with my hands. So if I'm really in the mood, I might do a little 1-2, you know, cheek after cheek. I might do something, but for the most part, you're gonna just see the mic in my hands, and I'm just going like this to the crowd.
Yes, you know, you don't see a lot of rappers dance on stage, but the ones who can sing and rap, I don't know what it is about y'all. Y'all be moving, whining, dancing, grooving. I can't wait to see that wine, because me know you're Jamaican, you know. I see you have a little Jamaican in you, you know. So you have to dance, you have to move, you have to whine, you have to groove. You know?
Yeah, you have to.
You have to. And sometimes rappers don't dance, they boogie, like Snoop Dogg said. That's Snoop Dogg's line, you know. Sometimes they do that. Now I have two more questions before we go. What do you say when people try to put you in one type of genre box when it comes to the music?
Oh, I don't say anything. I just let my music speak for itself. They do it, and I do a little. I laugh. I have to laugh, and then they come back and they say, "Oh, I checked out your song. I didn't know that you rap too." I said, "Huh, that's okay. I knew that you were gonna catch it for yourself." Mm-hmm. But I feel like I used to get irritated when people were like, "Oh yeah, so you're the singer girl, and I'm like, listen, I'm not just the singer girl. Don't call me that. Don't come for me like that. But now, honestly, I just let it roll off my shoulder. I'm like, okay, if I'm the singer girl, right? But catch me when you catch me. And
let your music do the talking. I hear you.
Do the talking. Yeah, at this point, you know, you got to stop talking. You just actions speak louder than words.
100%. Now, what future projects, other than your We Outside tour coming up, but what future projects do you have in store?
Well, I did have a lot in mind that I was kind of keeping on the down low, but
Ooh.
I feel like ever since I went through this like just this big thing, and like the loss of my boyfriend, who's also like a really good friend of mine too. And he was also a fellow artist himself. He went by the artist name Lido. He was crazy talented. I feel like the goal of my project is kind of changing a little bit, and I also want to help to put his name out there. So my project that's going to be coming out is going to be a lot of pain. It's going to be a lot of sorrow, but it's going to be released in attempts to inspire people, and people that can relate to the same thing, people that are hurting, because we're losing so much of our youth. It's crazy. It's getting crazier by the day, and people wouldn't think like, oh, Ottawa's not like that, Montreal's not like that, but so much crazy shit is happening all the time. I feel like people just don't give it the time to really let it like set in and marinate. Like, people don't reflect on it because there's so much crazy shit happening. People just is like, okay, on to the next, okay, next thing. And I'm like, nah, like I really want to raise awareness for the shit that's going on, because it's crazy. Like, our youth are killing each other, and it breaks my heart. Like, I've lost so many friends already. I've lost so many people. And then this is just like a big blow. So, my next projects for sure, I want it to be meaningful, like I care about the come up, I care about things like that, but I also care about our people. I care about our generation. And I really want to put my focus on our generation, because I just feel like time's just ticking, and we gotta do something, we gotta really talk about things that matter, and stop talking just about the hype. Stop talking about just about shaking your ass, getting girls to give you top. No, we gotta actually start talking about shit that means shit and that makes a difference. So that's what I want to do. And I feel like the projects that are going to be coming out are going to be there to inspire people and highlight these topics. I really want to use my platform and utilize it the best way that I can.
Speechless. And I like to talk. I love to talk. You have me speechless. Shout out to you for giving back. Shout out to you for giving back to the community, to the generations to come, and the generations that's already here, because they need artists like that. So many people look up to artists, especially local artists as well. A lot of people look up to the local artists that is around them. And when they see people giving back, that's a ripple effect, and people are going to pay it forward. So shout out to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm looking forward to seeing your future projects, and I'm looking forward to seeing what else you're going to do, because I know every single project that you're going to come out with is going to be like magic. I don't know. I never met anyone who can turn pain into magic the way you do. You know what I mean? Yes, yeah. Yes. You paint such a beautiful story of some of your experiences, and you paint such a beautiful story of your art. Don't stop. I can't wait to see you at the We Outside tour, November 20th. You're going to be at the Blue Dog. Oh my God, that's a lovely spot that we all love in Montreal. It's a lot of history in that place, and I know y'all going to kill it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm looking forward to it as well, and seeing you there as well. So thank you.
Thank you. Once again, we got Baëbe Ruth on 514 Online Mix Radio, and I am your host, Christcella.
Litty Rose, we litty, yo. 514 Online Mix, Christcella, Charles the Flint.